This lesson is on dimensional analysis. That's a big term that just means converting from one unit to another. You see the word dimension. The dimensions. Something is 6 feet long, something weighs 20 pounds. Those are dimensions. Dimensional analysis, we are going to convert from one dimension to another. Now there are some common conversion factors that you need to know. So at this point in the video, you may want to pause it and copy these down if you don't already know them. 1 foot is 12 inches. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard is 36 inches. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. 1 pound, 16 ounces. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. And then we have our time units that you need to know. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 1 minute is 60 seconds. There are other conversion factors that you may use at some point in time. These are the most common. Now, if we want to convert from one unit to another, we are going to multiply using the conversion factor. I know that many of you will say, I have changed from feet to inches before, or I have changed from inches to feet, and I know I have to decide whether I'm going to multiply or divide. If you use this method, you don't have to decide whether you're going to multiply or divide. You are going to multiply. For example, if your problem said change 48 inches to feet, the first thing you would do would be to make a fraction and put 48 inches over the number 1. If you don't have something else to put the number over, you'll put it over the number 1 to make a fraction. Now, our conversion factor said that 1 foot is 12 inches. So we are going to multiply by that conversion factor, but we have to decide what goes in our numerator and what goes in our denominator. Do we want to put 12 inches in the numerator, or do we want to put it in the denominator? Here's how you decide. You want to be able to cancel out the units you don't want anymore. You don't want inches anymore, you want feet. So if inches is in the numerator, you have to put inches in the denominator. That way you can cancel out your inches. 1 foot is 12 inches. Cancel your inches, multiply straight across. 48 feet over 12, since we're wanting to figure out how many feet we're going to divide this out. So you divide by that 12 and you get 4 feet. Another example. If you want to change 9 pounds to ounces, well, you have nothing else to put that 9 over, so you put 9 pounds over 1. Our conversion factor said that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So which one do I put in the numerator, which one in the denominator? Well, this is pounds. I don't want pounds, I want ounces. So I'm going to put the 1 pound in the denominator so I can divide out that unit, and now I'm left with only ounces. 9 times 16 is 144 ounces over 1. I divide that out. That's 144 ounces. Sometimes our problems are a little more difficult, and we have to change several units. For example, if your problem said change 60 miles in 2 hours to feet per second, we have to change miles to feet, and we have to change hours to seconds. We're still going to follow the same process we did before. This time, it says 60 miles in 2 hours, so we're going to put 60 miles over 2 hours. We're going to change the miles to feet first. It really doesn't matter whether you change the hours to seconds or the miles to feet first, but we're going to do the miles to feet. Our conversion factor said there were 5,280 feet in 1 mile. How do I decide which goes in the numerator and which goes in the denominator? I want to get rid of miles. So 5,280 feet goes in the numerator. I cancel out my miles. I have my feet now. I just have to get seconds. So I have hours here. I don't think going from hours to seconds. I think going from hours to minutes and minutes to seconds. So my conversion factor said 1 hour is 60 minutes. I put 1 hour in the numerator so that my unit would cancel out. I wanted to get rid of the hours. Now I have 60 minutes. I want to change to seconds. I know 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So I'm going to put minutes in the numerator so that my units will cancel out. 1 minute over 60 seconds. Minutes are gone. Now I'm left with seconds. My units, feet, seconds, that's exactly what I wanted. I multiply straight across. 60 times 5,280 is 316,800 feet. 2 times 1 times 60 is 7,200 seconds. Since I want to know in 1 second, I'm going to divide both of these by 7,200. That will give me 44 feet in 1 second. Look at this problem carefully. It looks very complicated, but remember, you are changing from miles to feet and hours to seconds in one problem. It isn't difficult if you use your conversion factors, and just remember that your units that you no longer want have to cancel out. Now, to give you some practice for tomorrow, this is your assignment. I want you to take these 4 problems, do the conversions that are asked for. Show all of your steps, please.